Welcome to the Stay Healthy Experience. My name is Robert Ferguson. I am your host, and I'm also the health ambassador for Stay Healthy. Now, today in this very first show, we're going to give you an overview of what this experience is going to be like. Yes, we're going to have celebrity guests. Yes, we're going to have experts from different lanes as far as health and all the things that relate to that. We're going to have normal, everyday people coming to this set, spending time with us with the goal of helping you gain clarity so you can optimize personal health and well-being, optimize your life. Now, today, and joining me most of the time, I'm going to say that because I may fire this person, but my co-host comes from aerospace. She made her way to the fitness world, and then became a nutritionist, and she has her own practice, and that's Kris.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
And this is going to be fun.
Yeah,
Now,
I can tell.
Yes. and when I mentioned celebrities, you had your first opportunity, which we're going to share with everyone.
Yeah.
And the opportunity I'm talking about is you meeting Chuck D of Public Enemy.
Yes.
But what was the most interesting is the first question you asked him.
Right. Yeah.
Share with everybody.
So my first question, right? My first question that I asked Chuck D was, I wanted to know if his first name was actually Carlton.
And that was a great way to get the party started.
Right. Broke the ice. I broke the ice.
You broke the ice.
Right.
Now, you've been to Stay Healthy.
Yes.
You've met most of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And when you first went there and got to meet, our president, our CEO, our research scientists, this amazing group of people who have come together to make the world better.
Yeah.
What was your takeaway?
I think there's probably two major things. I think the first thing when I met everyone there, which was really amazing, is that it was evident to me how much they cared about what they were doing with the company, with Stay Healthy. It was across the board. Mm-hmm. They just were so passionate about what they were doing. And then on top of that, just the technology that they were integrating into health and healthcare is just mind-blowing. I mean, these are like top-notch people, like the meeting of the minds, and then just creating this awesome program.
It's definitely, in my opinion, the dream team when it comes to helping people live their healthiest life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a big part of what brought us all together is that we're in alignment.
Right.
That the big problem that we have, Barbara, and you know this, is excess fat.
Yes.
I mean, excess fat is 100% linked to over 13 types of cancer.
I know, it's crazy.
When you look closer at it, 30% of all cancers are linked to excess fat. Wow. And when you look at postmenopausal women, you're looking at nearly 70% of breast cancer with menopausal women is linked to excess fat.
Those numbers are...
And when you keep looking at the numbers, as people are walking around and they're battling with excess fat and not knowing that there are solutions out there, over 80%, and I'm saying over 80 to be conservative, over 80% of people who have type 2 diabetes, have excess fat. Yeah. I was looking at a study the other day where it was talking about if you have excess fat before the age of 40, you have an increased likelihood of attracting some type of cancer.
That's crazy.
So the big problem is excess fat.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about it.
I know.
But we are.
Right, exactly.
And so this show, like the common thread, no matter who we have on the show, if it's Justin Bieber, if it's Ariana Grande, if it's Miss Diana Ross, it doesn't matter who it is. We're going to talk about what they got going on, but at the same time, we're going to talk about how you stay healthy.
Exactly.
And if you don't feel you're healthy, how can you get healthy?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm about to preach.
I know. Like some attitude coming on.
And I'm going to stay focused today. Yeah. Now, as part of our introduction to this show, I want people to meet the founder and CEO of Stay Healthy, John Collins.
Yes.
I mean, his background's fascinating. I'm literally going to have him on the show. And when he comes on the show, yes, people will get to meet him and know more about him. Right. But he's going to interview me.
Oh, that'll be good.
I can't wait. I look forward to that.
Tables.
Yeah. Bring it. Bring it, Mr. John Collins. And we will always have some type of expert or celebrity on the show.
Yeah, it's going to be so
exciting. Whether they're in studio or whether we go to them. And so we actually did our interview late last night with Mr. Chuck D to get it in. I mean, he was willing to do that. And we're going to be sharing that interview today. But before we get there, I want to introduce people to John Collins and myself, because we actually sat down with Mr. Carlos Amezcua. Did I say that right?
That's right, Amezcua.
We said he's a famous guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been like a on TV anchor for many, many
Been
years.
around.
And he loved the fact that, we're doing something cutting edge.
Yes.
And so John and I sat down with him, and I want everyone to kind of get a glimpse of what all this is about.
Yes.
By sitting back, have a snack,
Right.
and watch this little interview.
Yeah, see the big picture.
Okay, let's take a look at
Yeah.
it.
What happens when you mix staying healthy with technology? Well, that's kind of the essence of what Stayhealthy.com is all about. And we have the CEO, John Collins, and Health Ambassador Robert Ferguson with us today to talk a little bit about what the Stay Healthy app is and how it relates to people's health. Nice to have you both here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So let's talk a little bit, John, about what the genesis of this whole project was.
Stay Healthy was founded in 1995, and the initial purpose was to provide wide access to medical, clinical grade readings devices, and that resulted in what you see today locally and across the country as health assessment kiosks in grocery stores with pharmacy. So here there would be Ralph's, Kroger, Albertsons, Rite Aid. That networked. Yeah, we do about 2.7 screenings every second, 6 million people a month.
Wow.
It's big. It's the largest of its type ever installed. However, we realized that having kiosks, if you want to call them those, in retail grocery isn't big enough. So even though it's successful, we decided to go mobile. So what we had to decide was, could we take the accuracy that was on those kiosks, which is blood pressure, body fat percent, hydration, lean mass, and weight, and put them onto a cell phone? The answer is yes.
Of course, that's the new technology. Part of the reason the kiosks are there, when you walk by them, you go, okay, maybe I should check myself out.
We had an incident last year. A young lady, 9 months pregnant, just about to give birth. She was due 2 weeks later. Sat down on the kiosk, did her blood pressure while she was waiting for medication. And I'll give you some numbers that may not mean that, but there was 160 over 110.
Yeah.
Well, we have an alert that comes up and says, seek immediate medical advice.
Wow.
She did. And she went to the pharmacist, who called the ambulance, and she went to the hospital. They told her she was within 2 hours of losing the child or her life.
Oh my gosh.
This happens almost every day. So what we decided is, and she didn't have to pay for that, that's free. It wasn't reaching enough people. The thing you just said, though, is important, is we focused on body fat percent because that's the biggest problem in the world right now. This is on an epidemic, and attached to it is type 2 diabetes. Asthma is exacerbated, renal failure, heart disease, and many cancers. So we said, okay, could we give you your cell phone, test your body fat, but then instead of giving you a number, so let's say I said to you, what's 30% body fat? What does that mean to you?
Nothing. It means
Exactly.
nothing to me, yeah.
What if I could show you your heart, your liver, and your kidneys impacted by that body fat? Would that have an impact?
That would change it, yeah. That
That's
changes
what
the
we're
dynamic,
doing.
yeah. So as an ambassador, you're telling people, get yourself into these kiosks, use this app. I'm not putting words in your mouth, sorry about that. So what is your role as an ambassador?
Well, I mean, I'm in the trenches. So this is our general.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the field hands out there. And basically, my goal is, and has been, is helping get America healthier. And what I've seen is that excess fat is taking over, and it's causing a lot of ailments. And so when I met with John and Stay Healthy, what they have done and how they have positioned technology as far as its connection with helping people optimize health is noteworthy. So you don't have to go to a big kiosk. It's right there in your phone, and your phone's always with you. So with that phone and that app, you'll be able to quickly put yourself in a position where you can reduce the risks of various cancers. You can, it can help reverse type 2 diabetes. You can reshape your body and improve your body composition, all right through your phone. So this is exciting.
Why is this important? It's life-saving, obviously.
Well, health is important, right?
Yeah. I mean,
And
I
the
know
energy is
that's such an
important,
obvious, it's an obvious question, but the thing is that we can't all go to the doctor. There's some of us who are lucky enough to have insurance, some of us lucky enough to have good health care, but a lot of folks don't have it.
Correct.
Right.
Tell me about those, the marginal people who still have.
Again, technology is in the hands of everyone. And so now we're able to give them a platform
where they can do a quick assessment and get an idea of what excess fat looks like as it pertains to those organs, and then put them on a path where they can get rid of excess. And if you get rid of excess, do you reduce your likelihood of attracting cancer? Everything just gets better. Instead of just the weight on the scale. And and then you have this thing called the BMI that misclassifies everyone, but yet everyone talks about it.
Right.
So our goal is to get rid of that and replace the BMI with the BFI, which is Body Fat Index by Stay Healthy.
I know that the kiosks, I've used the sleeve and tested myself, and so that doesn't cost anything. Does the app cost anything?
It's a free download. There are some in-app purchases later. But I want to go back to a question you asked earlier, is why do we do this? Is our chairman is Governor Tommy Thompson, multi-term governor of Wisconsin. He also was Health and Human Services Secretary. And while he was a secretary with his Surgeon General, he put out a warning. He said the biggest terrorist threat in this country is not terrorism, it's excess fat. He also said that if the trend continued, which it has, it will bankrupt our economy.
Wow.
So we're attacking the biggest problem worldwide. This is not just a US issue. And right now in China, what's their biggest problem? The growth of excess fat. And throughout Europe. They say in Britain, which is where I was raised, that if you walk, it's going to take care of it. It doesn't.
That doesn't. Well, John, Robert, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. The company's called Stay Healthy. And where do we find the app?
Stayhealthy.com, and you see the links in the app stores.
There you go. Okay, great.
Well,
nice to have you here.
Okay, so we are back, and that was interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, that's a great interview.
Now, did you feel that Carlos was 100% getting or tracking what we were talking about?
I thought so.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And we actually continued having a conversation with him once we ended that segment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was intrigued.
Oh, I'm sure.
And, we played with the app, and we went back and forth. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So
now,
he loved it.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So people now have a sense of John Collins. They have a sense of myself.
Right.
They understand that technology is a big part of what we're doing. So we're always going to talk about that.
Right.
But I want to walk people through some of the cool assets that we have with Stay Healthy, the company. Okay. So we have these cool apps that we're putting in the hands of people.
Yes.
So if you look at the youngsters between the ages of 4 and 8, we have an app called Color Quest.
Love it.
So when you saw Color Quest the first time, what did you think?
It was so cute. It was like, it was not only was it just so cute, but it was very informative. There's great information in it. And I felt that now my son is 15, right? So of course he's older than that group. But when he was little, he would have loved that. He would have loved it.
Well, if your kid is going to play with an app.
Yeah.
For my kids, they like to play with different things.
Yeah.
And kids love the color.
Yes.
So knowing that psychologically, then making it possible for kids to learn as they color, man, that is a game changer.
Right. It was so attractive. It was so appealing.
And Color Quest is winning all these awards right now. We're like leading in the space of like education for youngsters.
Right.
I believe that every adult will benefit from having Color Quest.
Oh, for sure.
Because you learn about the organs, you learn a whole bunch of cool different things. So Color Quest is one way of reaching the kids and educating them.
Right.
And once your awareness is up or you become more educated on organs, then your eyes are open to different ways to be healthy.
Right.
So Color Quest definitely has its place.
Right.
The other thing that we have is called OWL, OWL. And do you know what OWL stands for?
It was owning your wellness and living.
That's it.
Hey.
And so OWL is designed to help cancer survivors.
Yeah.
As well as their families. It's a great platform for educating people
Right.
and putting them in a position where they can, I guess increase their likeliness of not experiencing a recurrence of cancer.
I've never heard of anything even like this.
No, and it's taking the best of artificial intelligence where the app can communicate back and forth with you. It educates you, helps you become more mindful. It's a win-win.
Wow.
And with OWL and all the things that people are going to learn about this, right? We reached out to Daniel Baldwin,
Yeah.
of the famous Baldwin brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that Daniel becomes a regular on this show.
That would be awesome.
And he wants to do it. So
Hey, yeah.
can you imagine you're sitting down with Daniel? You got myself.
I know.
You got you.
Got this like.
Well, I guess if he comes in, we have to let you go.
No. No. No, he'll come because I'm here.
Okay. You're right. So we have Al, and we're going to be talking a lot about that so
Yeah.
that people become educated.
Yeah.
And we're going to make links available for people to learn more about
that
Al.
sounds like
right?
a powerful program.
And then we have the BFI app.
I love this.
Okay, Body Fact Index. So as John and I were talking about
Yeah.
the BFI on Carlos's show, this app is going to be a powerhouse come 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, we're taking diet-free life. It's going to live inside the app.
That's awesome.
We're adding so much more content and user friendly type
Right.
options for
Yes.
people to live their healthiest life.
Yeah. Like at their fingertips,
Yes.
literally.
Truly bringing
I know.
a solution to the people
Yeah.
through their phone.
I love it.
And I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot this.
Good thing you have your notes.
You know, because I was thinking about the Stay Healthy Shake. We have the Snacktown All-Stars.
Oh, yes.
This is where it gets really fun.
Yeah.
The Snacktown All-Stars. I mean, Ziggy, who is our president,
Yes.
is the voice with the Stay Healthy Shake.
Right. I love that thing. Stay healthy shake.
So, it's like you're bringing entertainment
Yeah.
and education around health together
Right.
with some really cool technology that once you experience like augmented reality,
Yeah.
you can't rewind that.
Right.
Once you've gone there, it's there.
It's just amazing.
It's kind of like if you have your phone, imagine going back to landlines.
Like, there would be no way.
No way.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's time for us to get to the Chuck D
Yes.
conversation. However, before we go there, I have a hit list, and I want to go through my list.
Uh-oh.
These are people with type 2 diabetes.
Oh, okay. That's the
And
list.
I'm calling it a hit list because these are people I want on this show.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now, remember earlier I said that type 2 diabetes
Right.
is linked to excess fat.
Yes.
Now, that doesn't mean you always are going to have excess fat that we can see on the outside.
True. That's very, very true.
Sometimes it could be visceral fat.
Yes.
Okay. So as I go through these names, if any of them shock you, okay, these are all people with type 2
Okay.
diabetes,
All right.
then I want your reaction. Barbara.
Okay. All
okay.
right. Let's hear it.
Tom Hanks.
Okay. I'm actually shocked to hear that.
Okay. Well, you
Yeah.
didn't look shocked.
I know. Wow. Trying to, composure here, right?
Tom Hanks has type 2 diabetes.
Wow. Okay.
Paula Deen,
okay.
type
I
2
guess
diabetes.
I kind of expect that.
And that's because you're looking at maybe
Yeah.
what she looks like on the outside.
Yes. Yes.
Randy Jackson. He was
Okay.
very famous on American Idol,
Right.
especially in the beginning.
Yes. Yes.
Delta Burke.
Okay. I remember
Okay.
her. The actress.
Paul Sorvino. Patti LaBelle.
Patti LaBelle.
Sherry Shepard.
Okay.
Drew Carey.
Carey.
David Boomer Wells. He's a pro baseball player.
That's actually, sometimes I do have to say, it is surprising when you hear of people who are athletes or active, when you hear that they have type 2 diabetes, it's always kind of
Right,
shocking,
because most people think you must be sedentary.
Yes.
You don't work out. You're not
Right.
taking care of yourself.
There's a misconception.
There's a misconception.
Yes.
Then you have Dominique Wilkins. He is a very famous
Yes.
basketball player.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Earl the Pearl Monroe. We have, oh my goodness, Jerry Mathers. Remember Jerry Mathers?
Leave it to Beaver?
Leave it to Beaver. Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
George Lucas, Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
James Earl Jones. S. Epitha Murkison. Amazing
the
actress. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to help me with this one.
Okay.
Gabourey Sidibe.
Sidibe?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
say-
think so.
okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Larry King.
Okay.
Leah Delaria. And
actress too, right?
Shaka Khan.
Okay, Shaka Khan.
And Holly Berry.
What?
Yes. Holly Berry. So we
wow.
need to get her here sooner than
Oh
later.
my gosh. Yeah.
Holly Berry. Yes.
Those names, and that's just a tip of the iceberg of
Tip of the
people.
iceberg.
I
Yes.
mean,
And many of these people, could improve their condition by
Right.
getting rid of the excess fat.
Right.
And if people knew this before they matured in life,
Yeah.
then the preventative opportunities would be increased or enhanced.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
Bob.
for sure.
Okay, it's all about helping people get rid of excess fat
Yep. Bottom line.
and having fun.
I mean, yeah, you definitely have to have fun.
And, speaking of our man, Chuck D, as we get ready to go to that interview.
Yes.
Chuck D, when I met him,
Mm-hmm.
we met because he wanted to talk about his nutrition.
Okay.
And then meeting him and talking to him, he had learned of me through a fitness instructor
Okay.
who has a Pilates studio, a fitness studio.
Okay.
Her name is Kathy.
Yes.
And she's hardcore. She's
Right.
for real. And I had met her before, and she recommended Chuck come see me.
Oh, sweet.
So you don't usually get professionals like in the area of fitness and
Yeah.
nutrition endorsing others.
Yeah.
So that shows her humility.
Right.
And Chuck came in, and I started talking to him, and I discovered he had this passion for Pilates,
No way.
and that threw me off.
All right. I mean, yeah. I think it threw us both up. Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm thinking, Chuck D.
Right.
That's the man. Well,
Right.
as he's been an activist for the people and people who are bullied and just
Right.
looking out for the best interests of just human beings,
Yeah, humanity.
he has that same passion when it comes to health and fitness
Yeah.
and taking care of himself.
Yeah.
So
He's a great guy.
let's go ahead and let everybody hear a little bit of our
Check it out.
conversation late last night
Yes.
with the one and only Chuck D
Chuck D.
of Public Enemy.
Yeah. Okay, so I know your first name is Carlton.
But you don't know that. That sounds like it's something you looked up.
Yeah.
So you actually went and looked that up.
I wanted to know what Chuck was for. If
Okay.
it was Charles or something.
I got more stories than the best of all storytellers. It was like, how far you want to go back? Noah's Ark? Chuck is basically, my grandfather's name is Charles. Everybody thought my mom's was going to name me after her father, and she flipped in like the last couple of days and called me Carlton.
Oh.
So they thought I was going to be Charles, so everybody was calling me Chuck before I was born. So I had my nickname before I was born.
Oh, that's cool.
They were like, Chucky's going to come,
Right.
Chucky's going to come, Chucky's for president. Because that was
Right, that's
that was
right.
the year, because it was 1960. So
Right.
Kennedy was running for president versus Nixon that year. So they was like, well, Chucky's going to run for president because he's going to be born one of these days. And I was born August 1st. So they thought I was going to be Charles, and my nickname would have been Chuck. And, my mom's flipped up, called me Carlton. Coincidentally, I got this news not too long ago that she was like watching Ben-Hur, and it was going to be Charlton Heston of all people, right? Charlton, cracker ass Heston, man. And I think he played Ben-Hur or Jesus, or maybe
yeah.
both
Yeah.
of them at that time, right?
Definitely
So
Ben-Hur,
she
right?
was like,
And he played Moses too.
and Moses too,
Moses,
right? So you
Moses,
just
yeah.
give the white guy all the big ass biblical roles. So since he flipped up, she called me Carlton, right? Which also was after a pack of cigarettes too, but she ain't smoked. My dad smoked; he smoked Kent's. Then my brother his name Eric, and that was off of a pack of cigarettes too. So, but anyway, long story short, that's where Chuck stayed because I had it before I
okay.
was born, and that's where, and I've had this nickname since the second before I was born. So it's a 59-year-old nickname.
Right.
So
it
Chuck
fits.
D, like even the Chuck D part.
The D is for my middle name, Douglas.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just had the ring. Back there MCs used to be, Willie D, Ernie D, EJ the DJ, stuff like that kind
Yeah.
of ring to it. And I had the natural D, so.
Nice.
Well,
Wow.
there you go.
Yeah.
And you open. I don't think anyone's ever opened up by asking if your name is Carlton.
Oh, yes, they do. They
Okay.
I've done more interviews.
How about that? I'm a fan.
I've done more interviews than anybody. Period.
Yeah.
Anybody. In hip hop and rap. Period. And I rank high in total interviews of everybody because I had the music, ambassador to the music. Then PE is like, 200 countries and stuff, and then political discussions. So
Right.
that's that third component. When people think it's my first component, it's my third component.
The political part.
Yeah, I mean, politics is just if you grown and responsible. So it's like, he's political, and in that street. I mean, street means you're a confused person. You confused like the streets are running you. The streets ain't got no vast abundance of black names. So bragging about the streets and talking about the streets is a waste of time. We talk about something that you don't know nothing about, and most people pretend when they talk about street. I mean, you know where the real cats are, and to graduate from the streets is either jail or death. And the best at it, don't get a degree in it. You get no rewards. Very few have made it through the streets outside of jail and death successfully. So why glamorize it? Why talk about it? Oh, but you know what I'm saying, dog. Nah, let's get clear. And that's what rappers used to be. Let's be very clear to the point. And they were intellectual in the beginning. Now it's anti-intellectual. Not to beef on anybody, but when they come, when people come with that lame excuse like, yeah, well, Chuck, he ain't a lyricist, but he has a message. So the fuck, right? What song ain't got some kind of message, depending on what message you talking about. Now, if you making up shit like you in the streets and stuff like that, that's a message too. You fantasizing about it. If you talk about your life, that's a message too. I try to, have a different angle of saying, okay, this is who's running the streets, or this is who's running politics, or this is who's doing this, or this is who's doing some dumbass shit, and you just afraid to call it.
Right.
That's so true. But the world we live in today, the rappers today are so far from what you guys did.
Yeah.
Art is art, and you give artists credit for coming up with their own. They don't have the abilities to do exactly what I did back then because we have different audiences, and you have to have a different training, man. It's like how many people think that they could just box and jump in the ring and start swinging at people?
Right.
How you gonna rap? You got a limited amount of words.
That's true.
Because it might not be about words anymore. Music today is sight, sound, style, and story. So you got 4 components that get you engaged. So it might not be the sound, it might not be their video or whatever. It might be something like, oh, that's that dude that had this issue. Like, what's his name? 6ix9ine, right? They talk about he got a $10 million deal from the record company today while in jail.
What?
Wow.
Now, do you blame 6ix9ine? No. I mean, artists do dumbass shit, that's what artists do. I mean, and maybe some of them could process that into being interesting because they're looking for a niche but the dumbass person was the person that came up and was going to sign them. That's the dumbass. Right. Like what the hell? So you telling everybody else you had the power to sign all these artists or anyone or nurture it. You ain't about the art. It ain't even the hustle. It's about the scramble.
Right.
Like you doing desperation before you lose your job. So you doing like last moment heaves.
Right.
So what does that tell somebody who's like in 7th or 8th grade who want to aspire to be a rapper or MC?
Like go to prison.
Right.
Go to jail.
Or just
It's like your Q rating goes up, just because you get in trouble.
Let's talk about Q rating. What the? Can I curse on this show?
Yes, you can.
Man. Let me tell you, I feel great being on this show because I made a concentrated effort to not talk so much in my next 5-6 years. I just draw pictures now.
Yeah, he's an amazing artist.
I didn't, folks. See, I did.
It's like I've been meeting more and more people that talk about your artwork.
But they haven't seen my real artwork, and I won't even discuss that.
Now I'm interested. I didn't know that.
I'll show you, but not on this air.
Okay, got it. But
so you're wondering what kind of art is he drawing, right?
Like what?
Well, I was an art student. I wasn't one of these fake artists that. No, I went to art. I went to university. I was a phenom in my art classes. I transformed the department. I went to college from 78 to 84. So I did everything, but I was known as a political cartoonist and someone who just drew, people and women, and you have models.
Right.
So you had to really concentrate on how to capture, do fashion design, know how to cover a shoulder, does it slink, does it, that's what we did in New York back in the day. So
how cool.
That was my calling. And
and that was like even before getting out of high school, you were drawing or doing art.
I've been doing that since you know, I was born to do that. So I was born and raised in the arts. Yeah, and I was going to be a commercial artist. I was telling myself at 10 years, I'm going to be a commercial artist. I was really, really talented. And, you know, art is subjective. So you don't have to like it. It's just that all you have to do is be consistent about it and stand behind it. And the most important thing with an artist, if you're doing it commercially or even non-commercially, is having a style. I mean, that goes also with voice and playing an instrument. Do you have a style that's recognizable?
Right.
It's funny when you say, you know, what came to mind was Good Times. Remember they would always show, remember they would always show his artwork?
Yeah, and you know Ernie Barnes did that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, all the JJ portraits, that's Ernie Barnes.
Wow.
I mean, also like when you see Rob, he can, you know, also speak on it. Marvin Gaye's "I Want You." Remember that cover?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and they got all the, you know, those
How cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
Connecting the dots.
The angular, slinky bodies and all that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So you're getting back
so
all...
when you get home, you can look that up.
Yeah, I kind of picture it. But so you started with the art, and then you're kind of like bringing it back, or you've kind of always done it.
No, I stopped doing it for 40 years.
Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
And then my father passed in 2016, and you know, I also did ayahuasca, which kind of like let me know where his spirit was at. Not that I'm, you know, like you got people actually do that, like, you know, like it's a thing. You know, I wanted to seriously know the energy of my dad, and then that opened me back in my art, so I reverted right back into my art.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it ended up being a great therapy. It still is. I mean, that's what I do. I think I'm gonna do this on the straight way on out, next 20, 25 years. So I mean, but it's all extensions of your art self, you know. And it's been fantastic. When I go on tour, and I've been on Prophets of Rage. I'm in two groups, Prophets of Rage and Public Enemy. And Prophets of Rage, I played in front of 3.5 million people in 3 years. So
That's nuts.
but some people go out after the show, the concert.
Yeah.
I go in and turn my hotel room into an art studio.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
I mean, you are extremely focused.
Yes.
I mean, when I talk to people about Chuck, I always, like, somehow in the conversation, I'll say, don't interfere with his Pilates. Because
Because I got a Pilates coach who's going to take the bricks to me. You know, I mean, she
that's
gave me a
awesome.
break today. You know, Kathy Lopez gave me a break today and wasn't trying to give a break.
right.
But I also trained with another gentleman named Matt. You know, he's about 5 years older. And I went in and I get in after dropping my daughter off. So I go right over to Pilates studio. So I can't start it at 8. I got to kind of start at 8:30. And then I kind of overlap into, you know,
Nice.
the class of Olympians that come in. So I go in there.
You're like right in the
8:30
front.
and work halfway with Matt, and then do a half an hour if I could, you know. So today I went in, and I went in and I was kind of beat down, you know. I was like working late, up early, or whatever.
Yeah.
And Matt was doing a meditation, and I did a meditation today for an hour. I was
Whoa.
out, bro. So I had to do the whole wrap around my eyes and stuff like that, and just, you know, I zoned out, which was good. I needed that break.
Yeah, I bet.
I haven't gotten a massage yet since I've gotten back from tour, and I've been telling myself do massage. You know, you have to do massages, but I've been on the run so much, so I might be getting it this weekend.
Good for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you think back, right? So, like, this show is called Stayhealthy Expressive.
Yes, sir.
Because at one point, I look at, you know, people like Heavy D, you know, Big Pun, and the list goes on and on.
Yo, man, the list of deceased rappers, I mean, it's inevitable. Everybody gonna die.
Right.
Right.
But dying in your 40s and 50s and 30s before your time is really troubling. It, you know, it's a reflection of the things that we praise in the neighborhood. Like, you praising for what? Were you praising something that always ain't good in the hood? You know? And yes, we understand that it's systematically that people ain't popping in the Whole Foods because it's expensive.
Right.
But when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, it almost evens the same if you like buying Whole Foods, but you buying smaller portions, and you eating right, as opposed to like going to like when I was outside the country, they was making this big hullabaloo over Popeye sandwiches, man. Yo, man,
the
like the
for real.
fried chicken,
the battle
the fried
of
chicken?
the battle of the
fried chicken?
the fried chicken sandwich.
That's huge.
Popeyes versus
GT
That's huge in the Philippines too. Yeah.
FOH. GTFOH, man, for real, man.
Wow.
So I'm outside the country. I'm hearing about, yo, man, this riots, people fighting and slamming each other
No.
for Popeye sandwiches. Like, so, I mean,
That's
so
funny.
this is the thing is, like, Public Enemy, as a principle, right? The music is like this. It's nonstop. And I'm rapping like, so all these people that talk about their top 50 list and, well, Chuck's not a rapper. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? You can't do this shit that we do because you got to train to do that.
That's right.
Prophets of Rage is like this, twice that. So you gotta stay. The stay healthy is an understatement. You can die up there if you don't train right and you don't prepare right. Because what you gonna do? Well, you can't. Well, I'm not gonna do this verse because I'm tired.
Right.
It's like, no. People looking at you like this.
Right,
You wearing them out.
Yeah.
So there ain't no easy shortcuts. So if I had to talk about today's music and yesterday's music,
Right.
there was no way out. Now somebody could be like, yo, I don't do that, and I'm taking the easy, lazy way out.
Yeah.
And the whole key when you're on the stage is to do something that the fan can't do.
Right.
If you just standing there like you mumbling and stuff like that, fan is like, okay, I like that song, but I could do that. You want to make
It's like something special.
Well, that's what make athletes stand out.
Right.
Because as much shit people talk, they ain't doing what they see.
Right.
They could be like, oh, that football team is whack. Your ass ain't getting out there.
That's right.
I know, it's
Or
true.
that basketball player sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah,
The
but you're
worst
not
of
out
what
there.
you think is the worst, a dunk on your old ass.
Yeah.
You know, there ain't no athlete that's going to be worse than the fan that's criticizing them. That's why they outside looking in that
That's
TV.
right.
But in music and rap, it used to be like that because musicians used to play.
Right.
So if a person's playing, you can't play, sit your ass down and watch them and clap your hands or leave, right?
Right, right.
Well, it used to be like that. It's singing. You can't sing. You sing good. You sound good in the shower. Sit your ass down and watch the performer. You ain't Stevie Wonder.
Right.
Sit your ass, your non-talent ass down and watch.
Right.
And it used to be like that in rap, where the it wasn't just the rapper, but it was the DJ. It was the
All
things
that.
in motion. It was panoramic, and then the rapper had to step up to great abilities to make it a difference between them and the audience. So once again, it was like sit your ass down and watch, or stand up in the crowd and you wave your
Right.
hands or do what the hell you got to do, or leave. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
you ain't doing this what's on stage. But when a bar comes down and you neglect to really seriously service and make it different from what anybody could just kind of just do. That's what makes people say, you know what? I want to be entertained. People want entertainment. They want their entertainment to be stronger than their drugs and their drink.
Right.
Back in the day,
That's true.
Back in the early '80s and late '70s, man, you want to talk about? Listen, as a people, we were always broke, but we wasn't broken. All right. Have your ass run and spend your last $5 on an entertainment DJ or MC or singer that was whack. They'd be like, man, nah, I'm not. I'm sticking this up outside
Right.
the back doors. That's what they were doing in New York.
I bet.
Grandmaster Flash said, if you was a whack DJ, you might get shot.
So talk about pressure to perform.
Oh.
I mean,
You took
that's a whole other.
you took everybody's money.
Yeah.
They'd be like, man,
You better step up.
You better not be like doing no 10-minute performance.
So you got to be trained.
Not.
Yeah.
Yes, like BEDNOT. You better not. So.
Yeah.
But that's 40 years ago. The standard drops, and what you can't let a standard drop. You can't let a standard drop in anything. You always got to have the upper echelon of professionals and a lower echelon of fans.
Right.
Got to be a big separation between the two.
But see, there's a lot of work in that too. I remember
Yeah.
one day we were talking, and he was talking about performing,
Right.
and you were explaining how you have to be in shape
Yeah.
to do what you do. And then I got to come to the show to see
Yeah.
Chuck in Prophets of Rage.
Right.
Oh man.
I'm sure.
I mean, that was like 2.5 hours of nonstop.
Right. And like you get
And
like
you looking at each one of your bandmates in shape.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't cry to nobody. It's 6 of us, and we like all like fit like that.
Right.
So it's like, you know what? I'm the oldest as is. All right. So I'm the oldest. So I can't. So definitely I can't be coming back and like, it's gonna be a tough one, man.
They're like,
They're
no.
looking at me like,
step up.
and I'm looking at them like,
So
step up.
were you always like that? Did you always train like that, or did you find like as you
Well,
age
when you're a
and
performer, you gotta
yeah.
know what you're doing and what reason you're doing. So
Yeah.
I wrote songs to go like this and very fast or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you do the songs or the songs do you.
Mm.
I mean, I used to hear stories like, Big Pun, who's also passed on, God bless the dead, I was hearing like, it got to a point where people loved to hear Big Pun, but it got to the point he couldn't finish his own verses. He used to
Right.
sit in a chair
Right.
and other people finish the song.
He literally sat in a chair on the stage.
You got other
Wow.
people that sit on the stage because they just can't handle it. I'm like, well, you're shooting down the whole purpose of what this thing is about.
Right.
Here you go back to the 40s and see the Nicholas brothers, and they jumping over each other, man. Your eyes are like,
Like
so we're
crazy.
gonna be stunned and stupefied by lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do more than that.
So there you have it. I mean, that's a snapshot
Yes.
of people getting the opportunity to meet Chuck
Yeah,
D.
it was so awesome to talk with him. And he's just so, I mean, he's so multifaceted and has just so much going on and so humble. I mean, it was great. I had a great time.
And he
chatting with him.
can talk about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been a mentor to me as a father. Like,
Really?
yeah, seriously. Like
Yeah.
he literally, okay, so I'm going to close with this.
Okay,
I'm
all
going to
right.
share this with you. I'm closing
All right.
with this, you guys.
Yes.
So one day, I'm talking to Chuck, I'm a single dad
Yeah.
and he's a single dad also. But he has a great relationship with his ex-wife and they
Okay.
have a young child that's 1 year younger than my youngest.
Okay.
And so I'm talking to Chuck and he's giving me some words of advice.
Right.
And the lesson was in this story about this goldfish.
A goldfish?
A goldfish.
All right. Let's hear
And
this.
and a lot of it had to do with, like in my future, if I got remarried or like as I'm, working that part of my life, trying to
Right.
figure out,
Right.
having kids and then
that dynamic.
how
like,
does that all work,
you
right?
Work that.
So Chuck goes, look, one day
Mm-hmm.
I get a phone call from my ex and
Uh-huh.
she says, hey, can you get home before me and our daughter
Okay.
and go to the fish tank and there's some fish in there that are dead
Oh, okay.
and get them out.
Right.
But on your way there, go pick up 2 other fish, right?
Replace them.
And replace them before we get there so our
Right.
daughter doesn't see her fish die. I mean, she just got
Aw.
them. And it was during that time where the weather was really hot.
Okay.
We were having these hot spells.
All right.
So Chuck does it,
Okay.
gets there, he's leaving in the house, and they drive up.
Okay.
So of course he sees his daughter,
Okay.
hugs,
Say,
and they go
hey.
inside the house, and she runs to see her goldfish.
Uh-oh.
And she's looking at the goldfish, and she's like, something's not right.
What? These fins are different, right?
Something's
Yeah.
not right with Sammy
Oh
or
my
whatever,
God,
right?
right?
And the moral of that story is this.
Uh-huh.
If you're in a new relationship with someone,
Yeah.
right, and you have young kids, how many of those new relationships would be okay with you stopping everything you're doing to go and do something like that for your ex
Oh, okay,
and your
so
baby?
I didn't see that coming, that
Yes.
point coming. Oh, that's a good point.
And so when you
Ah.
have, a family that's divided,
Right.
then what's the most important thing to you?
Right.
And the thing that we both share was that our kids are the most
Are
important.
the priority, right?
Right.
It's not going to change based on who you're with down the line.
Right. Unless you find someone or meet someone who can totally 100% be okay with
With you
the
doing
priorities you have in your life.
Right. And actually acting upon that. Because it's different if you say those things, but acting upon it, totally different
Right.
level. But I see.
And then from that, I would share
Right.
with those who tune into this show
Yeah.
that look at the things that are a priority to you.
Yes.
Because they will help you make decisions that will put you in a position to thrive.
For sure. I mean,
Because,
that's
because you make your health a priority.
absolutely every day.
And so you make time to exercise.
Right.
You make time to not overindulge.
Right.
And it's not like you're losing anything.
No.
It's a priority
It's
to
a
you.
priority. It's important for me. It's important for my son and my family, people I care about. Yeah.
That's right. Now,
You know.
if my kids called right now, I would
gotta
just
go?
get up and I gotta go.
Got to go.
And that's how it'll be.
And
But
it should be that way, right? It should be that way.
always.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here in this
Of
first
course.
show.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So you guys heard it. This is the Stay Healthy Experience. Help us get the word out and always stay healthy.
Hey kids, I'm Happy the Heart. Today we're gonna learn a song and dance that's both super fun and will help you get strong. It's called the Stay Healthy Shake. You can do it with me. Ready, let's go! Do the Stay Healthy Shake, shake, shake. Do the Stay Healthy Hop, hop, hop. The Stay Healthy Slide. And the Stay Healthy Drop, drop. Now freeze. Now pop. Great job! Wow, that was so much fun and good for you. We should do this one more time. Do the Stay Healthy Shake, shake, shake. Do the Stay Healthy Hop,